Chodesh Tov, Rabotai. As you know, tonight and tomorrow morning we're starting to say Selichot according to the minhag of the Sfaradim. The Ashkenazim, they don't say Selichot now. They say Selichot before Rosh Hashanah, like about a week before they start, something like that. They say before that time. But we say all month of Elul, the Sfaradim, all month of Elul we're saying Selichot. That's the minhag. So there's a lot of questions which are asked, about this Selichot. What is the idea? What is the obligation? What does a person have to do? So I want to tell you a little bit about that. First of all, right, it's a minhag. In the Rambam, by the way, it's not mentioned, this minhag. In the Rambam, not mentioned. He doesn't write about this. So what does that mean? This minhag must have started after the Rambam. But the Maran Shulchan Aruch, he mentions it, but the Rambam does not. So it was before Maran and after Rambam, that's when the minhag started, to say Slichot, or Chodesh Elul. Before that, it seems like they weren't doing, nobody was doing. The Rambam says to do Slichot only Aser Yemei Teshuvah, that's it, for 10 days, 10 days. Teshuvah, that's it. But besides that, doesn't mention Slichot. But our custom is to do all Chodesh Elul. That's the way we do it. So what's the reason why? Because you know that Chodesh Elul, right, is a time of Rachamim. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Matsui, in this world. He comes down to hear our Teshuvah, right, and to give us forgiveness, to give us kapara for our sins, that we did all year and all our lives also. All the things that we did all throughout our life. Now this is the time, So what's the difference? A person, can do Teshuvah anytime. It doesn't matter whether it's Chodesh Elul or it's Chodesh, right, Tammuz, or it's Chodesh Tishrei or whatever it is. Doesn't matter when. But so why is Chodesh Elul so special for Teshuvah? Because the Kadosh Baruch Hu is coming down, especially to hear the Teshuvah, so it's coming easier, it's coming faster, coming stronger, this idea of Teshuvah and Chodesh Elul. So this is the time to do it, So what does that mean? A person has to look at his life, and what he's doing, take a cheshbon, take a look at what do you do? What are you doing all day? How are you living as a Jew? You have to make a cheshbon. And whatever you're doing mistakes, you have to correct these things. Now, this is the time to do it, Don't wait till Rosh Hashanah, because when you get to Rosh Hashanah, it's already Yom Adin. So Yom Adin, it's very hard already, to be judged, everything in one shot, everything in one holiday. To do Teshuvah, everything in one holiday, it's hard. But to do, now we have Slichot, right? We have Elul. We can do Teshuvah for 1 month. Think about everything slowly, and get rid of all our problems. All the problems that we have, to get rid of them. That's the way we do it, So Slichot is a big thing. Why? Because it helps you to get, into the proper state of mind for Teshuvah, because you're telling Hashem, that you regret what you did and He should forgive you, right? And we're coming every day to sing. But you know what it is? The big Chachamim, they say one thing. They say that don't come to Slichot, because you like the melodies, that they do. The Sfaradim, they have nice melodies, manginot, for the Slichot, Chatanu levanecha rachem. It's all nice, So we like to sing these things, They're nice melodies, But don't come here, thinking that's we're doing songs over here, like some kind of a choir. That's not the purpose of that. Because you like the melodies. The melodies are supposed to inspire you, to do teshuvah. That's the whole thing, right? So don't just come for that, to enjoy the melodies, and hear the chazan. Sometimes, the chazan is very good, in the slichot. He knows how to do it, and it makes you feel very inspired, So that's good, It wakes you up, the chazan. It's a good thing, What about shofar, right? They do some keilot. They do shofar also, Chodesh Elul. The truth is, that this is the minhag of the Ashkenazim, to do shofar every day. It's not really minhag of the Sfaradim. But some Sfaradim took it also, took it on. From the Ashkenazim they learned this, to do shofar every day. In the morning, after Shachrit. But the truth is that we don't have this custom, the Sfaradim, we don't do shofar. The Ashkenazim, they do shofar, and we do Selichot, right? That's the way it is, Each one has their own minhag. That's the way it is. Over here they do shofar every day? They do? Sometimes. Okay. All right, sounds good. Okay, so whatever it is, right? Sometimes, you don't have anybody to blow the shofar. Sometimes there is somebody, but it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is to do teshuvah. That's what you really want to do. So now the question is, what time did they make slichot? What did the rabbi say? What time? 5:30. Okay, interesting. Okay, so let me tell you an interesting thing, right? It says in the Shulchan Aruch, when is the best time to do selichot? So the best time is Ashmoret. What is Ashmoret? What does that mean? It means before Amud HaShachar, before the light comes up, before the day starts. This is the best time. Why? Because this is a time where Rachamim Maslichot, there's a lot of Rachamim in the air. Kadosh Baruch Hu is very forgiving at that time. He wants to hear the prayers of Am Yisrael at that time. This is the best time. So the best time to do, really the best time to start Slichot is what time? Not 5:30. The best time to start is 4:30. But the problem is, if you say 4:30, nobody's gonna come. You're gonna have over here 2 people. Maybe if you're lucky, so you're not gonna get a minyan. This is the problem, So we can't do it like that. But if we could, right, that would be the best time, to come. 4:30, because that's Ashmoret. That's the end of the night before the day comes. This is the best time, But the truth is that even after that, it's also kasher. It's kosher to do after also. You can do after. In the morning, 5:30, 6, whatever it is, 6:30. You can still, Maran, my rabbi, he used to do 6:30 slichot, and 7 o'clock was shachrit. That's the way they did in his synagogue. So it's all good, Baruch Hashem, it's all good. But the best time is Ashmoret. There are also some people, who do slichot, when? After Chatzot HaLayla. When is Chatzot HaLayla? About 5 minutes to 1, at night. So some people make a minyan, on Main Street. If you go there, you're going to find many minyanim like this. They're doing slichot at night, right? After Chatzot, after midnight. So when they start about 1 o'clock at night, that's when they begin. So is that a good time? Yes, it's good. You know why? Because it's already after Chatzot. After Chatzot, it's time of Rachamim. But the best time, this is not the best time after Chatzot. The best time is Ashmoret, right? Which is 4:30 in the morning. So if you can do that, but the problem is like this, I'll tell you something interesting. The problem is that if you're doing slichot, slichot is a minhag, but sometimes what happens is that if a person wakes up so early, every day, 4 o'clock, in the morning, he wakes up, all day, he's like dizzy, falling asleep. He can't do his job. He can't work, He can't learn Torah. Can't do nothing. Why? Because he woke up at 4 o'clock, and his brain is like, it's spinning around, like this. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard, sometimes, So if it's hard for you to do it that way, what can you do? We're not on that level that it used to be in the old days. In the old days, they used to wake up really early in the morning, before Amud HaShachar, as we said, and come early. They were tzaddikim, they were strong. And we're not so strong like that anymore, we don't have the strength anymore like that. So the truth is, that the best thing, for you people, balabatim, like this, come like 5:30, 6, whatever, do slichot like this, that's good, because it fits in good to the schedule. But the Bnei Torah, right, the people who are learning Torah, the problem is, they don't have time to do slichot, because all the day they're learning Torah. So what do they do? The ones who are learning like that all day. Talmidei Chachamim in the yeshivot, kolelim. What do they do? So he writes in Maran, my rabbi, he writes in his books that what you should do is, if you're a Talmid Chacham, try to come like twice a week, to do slichot. Not every day, maybe, and then do like in your house also 5-10 minutes, of slichot in your house. But you don't have to come every day. Why? Because you're Talmid Chacham, you're learning Torah. And if you come every day to Slichot, it's going to mess up your learning schedule, So Talmud Torah can get kulam, Talmud Torah is more important than Slichot. That's the thing, Even though the truth is, right, that the Chidah says not like that. The Chidah says that even though, in general, all year round, Talmud Torah is more important than everything else. Talmud Torah can get kulam. It's true, But he says in Chodesh Elul, he says slichot is more beneficial than Talmud Torah. So according to that, you should come every day. Even if you're a Ben Torah, you should come every day. But the truth is, that now Maran, he didn't agree with this so much. He said a little bit differently. Not like that. There's also other people. There's other communities that do different. You know what they do? When do they do slichot? They do slichot before mincha. Like let's say mincha is 6:30. They do slichot like 6 o'clock. They come in the afternoon. And they do slichot at that time. This is not the best time, really, because it's a time of din already, in the afternoon, towards the evening. It's not the best time. But anyway, right, it's kosher. So if a person needs to do it, at that time they have a minyan, it's coming at, before mincha, they can do, it's kosher, it's okay, it's not asur. We, I remember when I was in the kollel over there, in yeshiva, but Maran, we used to do slichot. You know what time we did slichot? 1 o'clock in the afternoon. After we finished learning the morning seder, before we ate lunch, we would go upstairs and do slichot in the Beit Knesset. Because that's the only time that we had. We didn't have any other time. So we used to do it in the afternoon. Some people also do like that. This is not the best time, but for Talmidei Chachamim, that don't have time for this, so that's what they do, all kinds of things like this. But the truth is, that there is some time, according to Kabbalah, there is some time, where you're not allowed to do slichot at all. According to Kabbalah. You know what time this is? From the time that it gets dark at night, let's say around 8 o'clock, right? It gets dark. Until Chatzot, right? Until midnight. That time, you're not allowed to do slichot according to Kabbalah. Not allowed. Asur. Why is that? What's the reason why? Anybody know? The reason is because it's a time of dinim, So, you're coming, for slichot, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, forgive me, right? Salach lanu, right? Ki chatanu. But you're coming at the wrong time, now it's time of dinim. In Shemayim, they're doing dinim, and you're coming and asking for rachamim. The wrong time. It's no good, right? So according to Kabbalah, the person who does this is called mekatzetz benetiot. You know what that means? He's like acting against the nature of the world, like this, trying to be against, the nature. You cannot do that. You're fighting against what's going on in Shemayim. Don't fight. Go together with it, together. Don't fight it. That's why you're not supposed to do that. But the truth is, according to Kabbalah, so therefore the Sfaradim, we don't do slichot at that time, from 8 o'clock at night to 1 o'clock in the morning, that those 5-6 hours we don't do slichot. Why? Because according to Kabbalah, this is not good. It's even bad. Something bad, no good. So you gotta wait till Chatzot Halayla, right? That's when you start slichot. So that's according to Kabbalah. But according to Halakha, there is a tshuva of Ramosha Feinstein al Vashalom. Ramosha Feinstein, who was Ashkenazi. He was a big chacham over here in America. He passed away already about 40 years ago. He was a big chacham over here, big posek, big Ramosha Feinstein. He was living in Manhattan, downtown, over there. He had a yeshiva over there. So Ramosha Feinstein, he says that, he says if the kehillah, it's hard for them, to do slichot late like this, after chatzot, so they can come, let's say like 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12, and do chatzot at that time. Even though it's before chatzot, right, it's not really the proper time according to Kabbalah, but he said, it's okay, it's close already, not so bad, blah, 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 blah. So he says, it's alright, you can do it. But the truth is, Maran Ravadi Shalom, when he heard, this psak of Marom Shefeinstein, he didn't agree with it. He said, no, cannot do like that, Don't do slichot 11 o'clock at night. There are some places also here, I saw, they're doing like this. They're doing slichot at 11 at night. Yeah. Why? Because if they do, if they do later, nobody's going to come. Yeah, Ashkenazim, Ashkenazim, that's it, yeah. So nobody's going to come, That's why they do it 11 o'clock. So the truth is, that the ones who do like this, they have what to rely on. But according to Kabbalah, this is no good, So not good to go to. Better to do it in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. That's the best time much better than to do that, than to go do it at night, as we said, right before Chatzot. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen, amen. Rabbi Hananiah ben Kashomer, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות ישראל, לפיך הכי בא להם תורה ומצוות, שנאמר אדוני חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר. תודה, ותודה שמי רבו. אמן.